Hi everyone, Assalamualaikum. Today we'll continue our chapter 5, Developing the Schedule. Okay, chapter concept. This chapter discuss monitoring and controlling the progress of the project, replanning and updating the project schedule. Once a project actually begins, it is necessary to monitor progress to ensure that everything goes according to schedule. This involves measuring actual progress and comparing it to the schedule. If at any time during the project it is determined that the project is behind schedule, corrective action must be taken to get back on schedule, which become increasingly difficult as a project falls further behind. Okay. Based on the material in this chapter, students will become familiar with estimating the resource required for each activity, estimating the duration for each activity, establishing the estimated start time and required completion time for the overall project, calculating the earliest time at which each activity can start and finish based on the project estimated start time, calculating the latest time by which each activity must start and finish in order to complete the project by its required completion time, determining the amount of positive or negative slack between the time each activity can start or finish and the time it must start or finish, identifying the critical path of activities, performing the step in the project control progress, determining the effect of actual schedule performance on the project schedule, incorporating changes onto the schedule, developing an update project schedule, and determining approach to controlling the project schedule. Rather than that, there are developing an update project schedule and also determining approach to control the project schedule. Okay, for learning outcome. Okay, after studying this chapter, students should be able to estimate the resource required for activities, estimate the duration for an activity, determine the earliest start and finish time for activities, determine the latest start and finish time for activities, explain and determine total slack, prepare a project schedule, identify and explain the critical path, discuss the project control process, develop update schedule based on actual progress and changes, and lastly, discuss and apply approaches to control the project schedule. So this topic is very tough for you, so please make sure you pay attention on this topic. Okay. Concept in this chapter support the following project management knowledge area of the PMI guide to the project management body of knowledge, which is project integration management and project time management. Estimate activity resources. It is necessary to estimate the types and quantity of resources that will be required to perform each specific activity in a project. Resources include people, material, equipment, facilities, and so forth. Having this information is essential in estimating how long it will take to perform each activity and the project as a whole. A number of factors influence the duration of an activity. First of all is availability of the resources. The next one is type of resources. Sufficient quantities of resources for the duration of the activities. And lastly is potential conflict with other projects that may cause a delay. When estimating the types and quantities of resource required for each activity, it is valuable to involve a person who has experience or expertise with the activity. Estimated activity resources will also be used later for estimating activity costs and determining the project budget. Okay, estimate activity duration. Once the type and quantities of resources are estimated for each activity, estimate can be made for how long it will take to perform the activities. The estimate duration for each activity must be the total elapsed time, which is the time for the work to be done, plus any associated waiting time. The figure in your slide now depict the activity estimated duration for vanishing floors. Okay, it is good practice to have the person who will be the responsible for performing a activity estimate the duration for that activity. Means that people who will do the activity will estimate the duration for the activity because they will know exactly the time they will need rather than people who didn't do the work. Okay, build by inform the person and generate commitment. Avoid bias that may be introduced by having one person estimate the duration for all the activities. This is important to design and experience individuals to estimate the duration for all activities for which the organization or subcontractor is responsible in large project. Okay, historical data can be used as a guide in estimating the duration of similar project. Estimated duration should be aggressive yet realistic. Inflating estimated duration in anticipation of the project manager negotiating shorter duration is not a good practice. Throughout the performance of the project, some activities will take longer than their estimated duration. Others will take less time than estimated, and very few may confirm to the estimate duration exactly. At the beginning of the project, it may not be possible to estimate the duration for all activities with a high level of confidence. The project team can progressively elaborate the estimate duration as more information is become available to allow for more accurate estimated duration. Okay, I believe you cannot see clearly this graph or picture. Okay, I attach it in the attachment so you can see with your attachment. Okay, this figure depicts the network diagram for a consumer market study with the estimated duration in days for each activity. Okay, can you see what are the realistic estimate for the activities shown? What happen if an activity is delayed and will be impact on the project? What happen if activity finish early? So, in this chapter, I will explain about all this estimated activity duration. Okay, you may prepare with your pen and pencil or paper so you can jot down later on. Okay, let we see the bigger picture of this activity. Okay, as we can see here, activity number 1, identify target customer, prepared by Susan. Activity 2, develop draft questionnaire, prepared by Susan. Activity 3, pilot test questionnaire, also prepared by Susan. And activity 4, review, comment and finalize questionnaire, also by Susan. So we can see here activity 1, 2, 3 and 4 in sequence. Okay, but activity 5, 6, 7 and 8 we do it parallel. Mean we do more than one activity at one time. Okay, next we have activity 9 and 10. Okay, also we do it in parallel. Next, activity 11, 12 and 13 in sequence. So in previous chapter, we all already know about this figure or about this picture, which is the activity description in the center of the box. Okay, activity number in the left hand of the box, person in charge in the middle of the box, and we have another one box left in the right. So we will figure out what is this box is for what. Okay, okay, establish project start and finish time. It is necessary to select an estimated start time and a required completion time for the overall project. This is important in order to establish a basis from which to calculate a schedule using the estimated duration for the activities. Okay. First of all, we need to define the overall window or the envelope of time in which the project must be completed. Okay, here, okay, this is the overall window of the activity from activity number 1 until activity number 13. Okay, okay. The contractor may not want to commit to completing the project by a specific date until the customer has approved the contract. Therefore, you will see there is no date in the figure, only number of days in the figure. There are no date. Why there are no date? Because a delay in signing will likely impact the start date of the project. To be safe, they did not put the time and specific date. So they put the how many days the activity will finish. Okay, the finish time should be started as number of days from the start of the project. Okay, develop project schedule. Once you have an estimated duration for each activity in the network, must determine based on duration and sequence whether the project can be realistically finished by the required completion time. In order to do this, the contractor should estimate the duration for each activity. He or she should estimate an overall window of time for the project. Develop a project schedule that provide a timetable for each activity and show the earliest time at which each activity can start and finish based on the project estimated start time and the latest time by which each activity must start and finish in order to complete the project by its required completion time. Okay. First of all, in order to develop the timetable, we need to determine the earliest start and finish time. Okay, earliest start time, also known as ES, is the earliest time at which a specific activity can begin. It is calculated on the base of the project estimated start time and the estimated duration of preceding activities. While for earliest finish time, also known as EF, is the earliest time by which a specific activity can be completed. It is calculated by adding the activity estimated duration to the activity earliest start time. Okay, so the formula is EF equal ES plus estimated duration. Calculate forward through the network diagram from the beginning of the project to the end of the project. So, in order to calculate the EF and ES, you must calculate from the beginning of the project towards the end of the project. Okay, this is the example. Earliest start and finish time calculation. This figure depicts the three activities that go into the production of dress rehearsal for a play. You will note that practice skit has an EF of day 5, make costume has an EF of day 10, and make prop has an EF of day 4. Dress rehearsal cannot start until all three of these activities are finished, so the letters for the EF for these three activities determine the ES for dress rehearsal. The letters of the three EF is day 10. The earliest finish time for make costume. Therefore, dress rehearsal cannot start any earlier than day 10. This is ES must be day 10 or later. Even though practice kit and make prop may finish sooner than make costume, dress rehearsal cannot start because the network dependent relationship indicate that all three activities must be finished before dress rehearsal can start. Okay. In a simple way, okay, you can see here we have 3 activity: practice skit, make costume, and make prop. Okay, you can see the earliest start and earliest finish. How to calculate the earliest finish? Okay, earliest finish is earliest start plus estimated duration. For activity number 1, practice skit, okay, the earliest start is 0 and the estimated duration is 5. So 0 plus 5 equal 5. So the earliest finish is 5. Okay, for activity number 2, make costume. Earliest start is 0 plus estimated duration is 10. So the earliest finish is 10. Activity number 3, make prop. Earliest start is 0. Estimated duration is 4. So earliest finish is 4. So you understand that? Okay. Zero plus 5 equal 5 for this one. Zero plus 10 equal 10. Okay. Then okay, for this one. Okay. Okay. 0 plus 4 equal 4. 10. Okay. Okay. We proceed to the next slide. Okay. So from previous example, we can start our activity identify target consumer. Okay. In the following slide, okay, we'll see the different activities and forward calculation that go into a consumer market study project. The project estimate start date is 0 and the duration is 3 days. Therefore, the earliest identified target consumer can start is time 0 and the earliest it can finish is 3 days later. Okay, so zero plus 3 equal 3. Okay, develop draft questionnaire. When identify target consumer, it finish on day 3, develop draft questionnaire can start. It has an estimate duration for 10 days, so its ES is day 3 and its EF is day 10. Okay, you can see here. Okay, 0 plus 3 equal 3. Okay, 3 here will be here. Okay, 3 plus 10 equal 13. Okay, okay. Pilot test questionnaire. When developed draft questionnaire is finished on day 13, pilot test questionnaire can start. It has an estimated duration of 20 days. So, ES is day 13 and EF is day 33. Okay, so we can see here 3 plus 10 equal 13. 13 you transfer here. 13 plus 20 equal 33. Okay, next, review, comment and finalize questionnaire. When pilot test questionnaire is finished on day 33, review, comment and finalize questionnaire can start. It has an estimated duration of 5 days. So, ES is day 33 and EF is day 38. Okay, so once again, I show you 13 plus 20 equal 33. 33 you transfer here. 33 plus 5 equal 38. Okay. Okay. Next we have prepare mailing label, print questionnaire, develop data analysis software and develop software test data. Okay. When review, comments and finalize questionnaire is finished on day 38, preparing mail label, print questionnaire, develop data analysis software and develop software test data can start. The ES for each activity is 38, but they each have different ES. Okay, so here we'll see 33 plus 5 equal 38. So here we have 38, 38, 38 and 38 as the earliest start for this 4 activity. However, they will have different earlier finish. So we can see here okay, 38 plus 2 equal 40. 38 plus 10 equal 48. 38 plus 12 equal 50. 38 plus 2 equal 40. So, you can see here every ES for activity is 38 but they have different EF. Okay, mail questionnaire and get response. When prepare mailing label and print questionnaire are finished, okay, mail questionnaire and get response can start. The letter The 2EF time for preparing mailing label and print questionnaire is 48. Therefore, this is the ES. Mail questionnaire and get response has an estimate duration of 65 days. So, it ES has 48 days and EF is 113. Okay, we see here. Okay, for this activity. Okay, for this activity, which one you will choose? 40 or 48? So you must choose the longest time. The longest time between these two activity is 48. Therefore, you put 48. You put 48 here. 48 plus 65 equal 13. Okay? Okay. Now, we see for test software. Okay, now we have two activity here: develop data analysis software and develop software test data. So we have 50 and 40 here, which we will choose to be bring forward. So we'll choose the longest time. So remember, we will choose the longer time. The longer time is 50. So 50 plus 5 equal 55. Okay, you get it? Okay. Then we have input response data. Okay, when mail questionnaire and get response and test software are finished, okay, input response data can start. The letter of the 2EF time for mail questionnaire and get response and test software is 113. Okay, so input response data has an estimate duration of 7 days. So ES day is 113 and EF day is 120. So I repeat here. Okay, we have two number here, 113 and 55. Which one we will choose to bring forward? Of course, the longest day. So the longest day is 113. So 113 you bring forward. 113 plus 7 equal 120. Okay, then we have analyze result. When input response data is finished on day 120, analyze result can start. It has an estimate duration of 8 days, so it is ES is 120 and EF is 128. Okay, so we have 120 here. We bring forward, so 120 plus 8 equal 128. Okay. Prepare report. Prepare report when analyze result, it finish on day 128. Prepare report can start. It has an estimated duration of 10 days. So ES is day 128 and EF is day 138. Okay. As mentioned below, okay, we can see here 128. So we bring forward here 128 plus 10 equal 138. Okay, however, you can see here require completion 130 working days. Okay, the required completion time for this entire project is 130 days. So you calculate, you get 138 days, which is 8 days beyond the required completion time. Therefore, the project was not completed in the required time. So this project is not complete in required time because the required time is 130, but you get here early finish is 138. 8 days beyond the required completion time. So, okay, we take a break. We will continue after this.